Luke chapter 9. Synkalesamenos de tous dodeca. And having called together the 12, edoken autois dynamin, kai exousian epipanta ta daimonia, kai nosus therapeuen. He gave to them power and authority over all the demons, and to be healing diseases. Kai apestelen autus gerussen tön basilean tu teu kai jastai tu sastenes. And he sent them to be proclaiming the kingdom of the God, and to be healing the sick ones. Kai epen prosautus, and he said to them, Murden airete estern hodon? Nothing be ye taking into the way or journey. Myrte rabdon, neither staff. Myrte buran, neither bag. Myrte arton, neither bread. Myrte argurion, neither silver. Myrte anaduo kitonas eken, neither 2 tunics each to be having. Kai eshern anoikian eselterte, and into whichever house ye should enter, eke menete, be ye remaining there, kai eketen exerkeste, and from there be ye going forth. Kai hosoi an mer dekon tai humas, and as many would not receive you, exerkomenoi apotes poleo sekenes, going forth from that city, ton gonior ton apoton podon humon apotinasete. The dust from your feet shake ye off, be ye shaking off, es marturion epautus, into a testimony against them, exerkomenoide. But having gone out, dierkonto katatas gomas, they were passing through according to the villages, evangelizomenoi kai therapeuontes pantaku, proclaiming the announcement and healing everywhere. Ekusen de heroides hotetraarchus da ginomena panta, and Herod the tetrarchus heard the things being done. Kai diepore, and he was being perplexed. Diatolegestai hypotinon, hoti Johannes Gerter egnekron, through the being said by some that Johannen was raised out of dead ones. Hypotinon de hoti Elias epaner, by some also that Eliyahu had appeared. Allon de hoti propertustis don archaion anester, but others that a certain prophet of the ancients had arisen. epen de ho Heroides. But Herod said, Johannen ego apekepalissa. Johannen I beheaded. Tistestin huutos peri huu akuo toiauta. But who is this concerning whom I am hearing such things? Kai edzerte idenauton, and he was seeking to see him. Kai hypostrepsantes hoi apostoloi diergersanto autoi hossa epoiersan. And the apostles, having returned, narrated to him as many things as they effectuated. Kai paralabon autus hypecoresen, gatidian espolin kalumenen, Bethsaida. And having taken them, he withdrew according to himself, that is privately, into a city being called Bethsaida. Hoide okloig nontes erkolute autoi. But the crowds, having known, followed him. Kai apodexamenos autus elale autois peritus basileas tu teu. And having received them, he was speaking to them concerning the kingdom of the God. Kai tus crean ekontas therapeas iato. And he was healing the ones having need of therapy or healing. Hörde hömera örksato klinen. And the day began to be declining. Proseltontes de hoidodeca epan autoi. And the 12, having approached, said to him, Apoluson ton oklon, loose off thou the crowd, or dismiss the crowd. Hina poreutentes estas kykloi, gomas kai agrus katalysosin. So that, having gone into the surrounding villages and fields, they might lodge kai heurosin episitismon, and they might find food. Hoti hode eneremoi topoi esmen, because here in a desolate place we are being. Epen de prosautus. But he said to them, Tote autois pagen humes, ye, give ye to them to eat. Hoide epan, but they said, Ukesin hermin pleon artoi pente, kai ictues duo. There are not for us more than 5 breads and 2 fish. Emerti poreutentes hermes agorasomen espantaton laon tuton bromata. If we, having gone, do not buy for all this people foods. Ursan garhose andres pentakis kilioi, for they were being about 5,000 men. Epen de prostus matertas autu. But he said to his disciples, Kataklinate autus, cause ye them to recline. Glisias hose anapente conta. Reclining groups about 50 each. Kai epoiesan hutos kai kateklinan hapantas. And they effectuated thus, and they caused all to recline. Labonde tus pente, artus kai tus duo ictuas. And having taken the 5 breads and the 2 fish, anablepsas eston uranon, having looked up into the sky, eulogersen autus kai kateklasen, he blessed them and broke. Kai edidu tois matertais paratenai toi okloi, and he was giving to the disciples to set before the crowd. Kai epagon kai ekortas tersan pantes, and all ate and were satisfied, filled. Kai erter to periseusan autois klasmaton, and the surplus for them of broken pieces was taken up. Kopinoi dodeca, 12 hand baskets. Kai egeneto entoi enai auton proseukomenon katamonas. And it became in his being praying according to ones, that is solitarily, sunersan autoi hoimatertai, the disciples were being with him. Kai eperotesen autus legon, and he questioned them, saying, Diname hoiokloi legusin enai. Who are the crowds saying me to be being? Hoide apokritentes epan. But they, having responded, said, Johannen ton baptistern, Johannen the baptizer, Aloide, Elian, but others, Eliah, Aloide, hoti propertustis, ton archaion anester, but others that a prophet, a certain prophet of the ancients, arose. Epen de autois, but he said to them, Humeste, but ye, diname legete enai, whom are ye saying me to be being? Petros de apokrites epen, and Petro, having answered, said, Don Christon tu Theou, the anointed of the God. Hode epitimersa sautois. But he, having strictly warned them, parangelen merdeni legen tuto, he instructed to be telling this to no one. Epon hoti deton huion tu anthropu polla paten, having said that it is being necessary for the Son of the Man to suffer many things. Kai apodokimastai apoton presbyteron kai archiereon kai grammateon, and to be rejected from the elders and the chief priests and scribes, kai apoktantenai, and to be killed, kai tei tritei hermerai egereternai, and in the third day to be raised. Elegen de prospantas, and he was saying to all, Etis tele opisomu erkestai. If anyone is willing to come, to be coming after me, arnesasto heauton, let him deny himself, kai arato ton stauronautu gatemeran, and let him take his cross up every day, each day, kai akolutetomoi, and let him be following me. Hoskaran telejeten psykönautu sosai apoleseauten, for whoever would be wanting to save his soul shall lose it. Hostan apoleseiten psykönautu hennekenemu huutososeauten, but whoever would lose his soul on account of me, this one shall save it. Digar o peletai anthropos, for what is a man being profited? Geredesas ton kosmon holon, having gained the whole world. Heauton de apolesas, zemiotes, but himself having lost, or having been destroyed, or having suffered the loss of. Hosgar an epais kyntei me kai tu semus logus, but whoever should be ashamed of me and my words, ton hohuios tu anthropu epais kyntesetai hotan eltei entei doxei autu kai tu patros kai ton hagion angelon. This one the Son of the Man shall be ashamed of when he should come in his glory and the glory of the Father and of the holy angels. Lego de humina letos, but truly I am saying to you, esintines ton autu hesterkoton. There are some of the ones standing here, having stood here, hoi ume geuson tai tsanatu heosan idosin tön basilean tu tseu, which ones shall certainly not taste death until when they should see the kingdom of the God. Egeneto de metatus logus tutus, and it became after these words, Ho se hermerai octo, about 8 days. Kai paralabon Petron kai Johannen kai Jakobon. And having taken along Petro and Johannen and Jakobo, anebe esto oros proseuxastai. He went up into the mountain to pray. Kai egeneto entoi proseuxestai auton, to eidos tu prosopu autu heteron, kai hohimatismos autu leukos exastrapton. And in his praying, the appearance of his face became another, and his garments or his clothing dazzling white. Kai idu andres tuos synelalun autoi, and behold, 2 men were talking together with him. Hoitines Ursan Moses kai Elias, which ones were being Moshe and Eliyahu. Hoi optentes endoxoi elegon ton exodon autu, which ones, having appeared in glory, were speaking of his exodus. Hern ermellen blurun en Jerusalem, which he was being about to be fulfilling, filling up in Jerusalem. Hoi de Petros kai hoi synautoi ersan bebarmenoi hypnoi. But Petro and the ones with him were being ones having been burdened by sleep. Diagregoresantes de edon ten doxanautu, kai tus tuo andras tus synestotas autoi. But, having fully awoken, they saw his glory, and the 2 men having stood with him. Kai egeneto entoi diakorizestai autus apautu. And it happened in their being departed from him, epen ho Petros proston Yeshun. Petro said to Yeshua, Epistata, Master, Galonestin hermas hode enai. It is being good for us to be being here. Kai poie somen skernas tres, and we should make 3 tabernacles, or sukkot, mian soi, kai mian Moise, kai mian Eliai. Me edos holege, one for thee, and one for Moshe, and one for Eliyahu, not having known what he was saying. Tauta de autu legontos, but of him saying these things, egeneto nepele kai epeskiadzen autus, a cloud became, and was overshadowing them. Epoberter de entoi eselten autus estern nepelen, and they feared in their entering into the cloud. Kai porner egeneto ectus nepellus. And a voice became out of the cloud, Legusa, saying, Hu tosestin ho hyosmu. This is my son, ho eklelegmenos, the one having been chosen. Autu akuete. Be ye listening to him. Kai entoi genestai tön pornön heureta Jesús monos. And in the voices becoming, Yeshua was found alone. Kai autoi esigersan. And they were silent. Kai udeni apöngelan enekenais tais hermerais uden hon heorakan. And to nobody did they narrate in those days nothing of which things they had seen. Egeneto de toi hexus hermerai. And it became in the next day, Gatel tonton auton apotu orus, of their descending from the mountain, synöntösen, autoi oklos polus, a great crowd met him together. Kai idu aner apotu oklu eboesen legon, and behold, a man from the crowd cried out, saying, Didaskale, teacher, deo maisu epiblepsai epiton hyonmu. I am begging thee to look upon my son, hoti monogenes moiestin, because an only begotten to me he is being. Kai idu pneuma lambane auton, and behold, a spirit is taking him. Kai exaipnes kradze, and suddenly he is crying out. Kai sparasse auton meta apru, and it is throwing him into convulsions with foaming. Kai mogis apokore apautu syntri bonauton, and with difficulty it is departing from him, bruising him. Kai ederten ton materton su hina ekpalosin auto, kai ukedunötersan. And I begged thy disciples so that they might cast it out, and they were not able. Apokrites de ho Jesús epen. And Yeshua, having responded, said, O genea apistos, kai diestra mene, O generation, unfaithful and twisted. Heos pote esomai proshumas kai anexomai humon. Until when shall I be with you, and shall I bear with you? Prosagage hode ton hyonsu. Bring thou here thy son. Etide proser komenu autu, and yet of his approaching, erxenauton to daimonion kai synesparaxen. The demon threw him down and threw him into convulsion. Epitimösen de hoiessus toi pneumati toi akatartoi. And Yeshua rebuked the unclean spirit, kai iasato ton paida, and he healed the boy. Kai apedo kenauton toi patriautu, and he gave him back to his father. Exeplesonto depantes epitoi megaleotati tu seu, and all were being astonished upon the majesty or greatness of the God. Panton de taumadzonton epipasin hoisepoie epen prostus materta sautu, and of all wondering upon all which he was effectuating, he said to his disciples, Teste humes esta ota humon tus logus tutus. Set ye in your ears these words. Hogar huios tu anthropu mele paradidostai es keras anthropon. For the Son of the Man is being about to be handed over into hands of men. Hoide ergnounto hrematuto, but they were not knowing this word. Kai parakekalumenon abauton, and it was being a thing veiled about from them. Hinamer aistontai auto, so that they might not understand it. Kai epobunto erote saiauton peritu rematos tutu, and they were fearing to ask him about this word. Esertende dialogismos enautois, and an argument or discussion entered into them. Totis an ea medzonauton, the who might be being the greatest of them. Hode Yeshus, but Yeshua, edos ton dialogismon tes cardias auton, having known the reasoning of their heart, epilabomenos by Dion, having taken a child, estersen auton parheautoi, he stood him beside himself. Kai epen autois, and he said to them, Hosean dexertai tuto topaidion epitoi onomatimu eme deketai. Whoever might receive this child on account of my name is receiving me. Kai hos an emme dexertai deketai ton apostelantame, and whoever might receive me is receiving the one having sent me. Hogar mikroteros en pasin humin hyparkon hu tosestin megas. For the one being least among all of you, this one is being great. Apokriteste ho Johannes epen. But Johannen, having responded, said, Epistata, O Master, domentina entoi onomatisu ekpallonta daimonia. We saw a certain one casting out demons in thy name, kai ekoluomen auton hoti ukakolu te metermon. And we were forbidding him, because he is not following with us. Epen de prosauton ho Jesus. But Yeshua said to him, Me koluete. Be ye forbidding not. Hoskar ukestin katumon hyperhumonestin. For whoever is not being against you is being for you. Egeneto de entoi symplerus taitas hömeras tösana lömpseos autu, kai autos to prosopon estörisen tu poreuestai es Jerusalem. And it became, in the together filling of the days of his ascension, also he set steadfastly his face to be going into Jerusalem. Kai apestelen angelus proprosopu autu, and he sent messengers before his face, kai poreutentes, eselton escomen samariton, and having gone, they entered into a village of Samariton, Samaritans, hos hetoi masai autoi, so as to make ready for him. Kai ukedexanto auton, and they received him not. Hotito prosopon autu, poreuomenon es Jerusalem, because his face was being going into Jerusalem. Idontes te hoimater ta Jakobos ka Johannes epan. And the disciples Jacobo and Johannen, having seen, said, Kyrie, O Lord, teles epomen pyrkata bönai apotu uranu kai analosai autus. Art thou wanting that we should call fire to come down from the sky and consume them? Strapeste epitimersen autois. But having turned, he rebuked them. Kai eporeutersan es heteran komen. And they went into another village. Kai poreuomenon auton entei hodoi. And of their going in the way, pentis prosauton, a certain one said to him, Akoluter sosoi hopu ean aperkei. I shall follow thee wherever thou mayest be going. Kai epen autoi ho Jesus. And Yeshua said to him, Hai alopekes poleos ekusin. The foxes are having holes. Gaita petena tu uranu gataskenoses. And the birds of the sky nests. Hode huios tu anthropu ukeke puten gepalen glinei. But the Son of the Man is not having where he might be laying the head. Epen depros heteron. And he said to another, Akolutemoi, be thou following me. Hode epen. But he said, Kyrie, O Lord, epitrepson moi, proton apelchonti tapsaiton pateramu. Permit thou me first, having gone, to bury my father. Epen de autoi. But he said to him, Apes tus necrus tapsai tus heauton necrus. Leave thou the dead ones to bury their own dead ones. Sude apelton diangele tön basilean tu tseu. But thou, having gone forth, be thou declaring the kingdom of the God. Epen decai heteros. And another also said, Akolute sosoi. I shall follow thee, Kyrie, O Lord. Proton de epitrepson moi apotaxastai tois eston oikonmu. But first, permit thou me to farewell the ones in my house. Epen de prosauton ho Jesus. But Yeshua said to him, Ude sepipalon tön kera eparotron, kai blepon esta opiso eutetosestin töi basileai tu tseu. Nobody having laid on the hand upon a plough and looking into the things behind is being fit for the kingdom of the God.